Hey, it's Nay, and welcome back to Nay's Little Garden and Home. So, I have some checking in I wanted to do with you guys, pertaining to some some seeds that are now seedlings. So, grab your little drink, a little snack. We're gonna talk about it. And I'm gonna also up pot, not in this video, on the next video, but today, all the same. I'm gonna up pot some of these. I'm gonna explain to you which ones I'm probably gonna up pot and which ones I'm gonna leave for a little while longer, and the whys. So let's hop, skip, jump right into it. The first thing I wanna say is this. I am getting very good germination. I love that for me. I'm also mildly, and I emphasis on the word mildly, concerned about how many seedlings I'm getting to pop up, and I need to reevaluate. So I have written in my notebook, my garden notebook, hold on. Here's my garden notebook. I have written down about the number of each of these plants I need minimum for what I have already planned. Now, I'm saying all this, and I want to let you know the green stalks is the most volatile section of my garden as of right now. What does that mean? I mean to say things can shift for some of this. I have one of my 4-tier purple green stalks is basically still empty, and this raised bed right here that I have 2 of to stack on top, so it's high enough to grow good stuff. That also is actually like really empty. Like, it's the Epic Gardening wooden 3x2. There's nothing here. It's empty. So I was going to fill that with stuff. For now, I'm going to leave it. Two options. One, I may leave it so I actually have space to put some of these extras, and or 2, I might throw potatoes in there. I mentioned I was gonna perhaps buy, because I still have 1 more 5x3 raised bed to make this garden a reality, and that's guaranteed. But I'm playing with the idea of another 5x3 because we have like a canoe that's sitting in a spot that really truly does not need to be sitting there, and we could move that, and I could fit a 5x3 raised bed right there, and that would be kind of close to where my other 2 5x3s are. And I'm playing with that and toying with that idea, because when I say I'm not playing with my harvest this year, I want as many or more peppers as I made tomatoes last year, or grew tomatoes last year, while also still getting about as many or more tomatoes than I got last year, while still growing as many or more carrots that I grew last year, while also still growing growing more garlic definitely a lot more garlic than I grew last year. And I know you're like, girl, you keep going on and on and on. I need herbs. I need my herbs to do what they gotta do. Yeah. So those, I'm telling you, I mean, I have a lot of goals, but those are the goals. Those are my goals that I feel like I have a direct impact on. Like, I can't make my fruit trees immediately fruit, although I have a feeling my peach tree is gonna fruit. I'm seeing about 1/5 of my grass right now. I need to go and cut I'm playing with the idea of removing the fig bush I have, but I never cut down the fig like old branches, so it takes it significantly longer to make more figs, and I should have did that in the fall, and I think I'm gonna try and just do that now in the next week, because it's semi-warm, not really warm. I think warm is an overstatement, but it's not frozen tundra anymore. So yeah, I'm looking at the garden, and there's some My green stalks didn't get cleared, so I'm gonna cut them for sure by as close to the soil as possible to prep for for the spring, as well as whatever else needs that same type of energy. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. Let's talk about these starts. So I have here from January 1st. This is the thing about peppers, right? I keep saying this, I think, in every video, and it's because I'm getting variety of different people watching my videos. So I want to make sure people really hear me when I say this. When it comes to peppers and tomatoes, those are some of the, I just feel like seed starting in general. I just vacuum and I'm dusting soil all over the floor. When it comes to seeds, the amount of times it's going to take to actually pop up and then grow, and goodness forbid you don't go ahead and water as often as you should, is going to dramatically affect that timing as well. What am I saying? I have other peppers. I started one and I showed you them before, and they're like this big, very beautiful and healthy. This, because there's more soil here, and I was watering it the same as I was watering the cells that look like this that I've since uppotted, they didn't get enough water. And so you can kind of see like this one didn't make it. These came back, but obviously they're now behind the other ones. So this is all things you need to keep in mind when you do start peppers. I am in zone 6. I have about 150 days of growing season. That is not 150 days of warm weather crop growing. That's just 150 days period, right? That includes my spring and most of my fall before we get like a harvest, like a frost, right? I'm saying all this to say, or half of my fall, because that's something very important to keep in mind. So for the actual time that I have to really actually grow warm weather crops, we're looking at June, July, August, and the beginning part of September. Because May, so the beginning part of May, the ending part of May, so let's say half, June, July, August, and the beginning part of September. So I have about 3.5 to 4 months of actual growing warm weather crops, and about 3 months of very good warm weather crop growing. So a lot of things, most things in the garden take about 60 to 100 plus days to grow. Yikes. And that's when you're taking into consideration you're at optimal growing time, which is a lot of So you're starting things early. So I said all that to say I will be up potting these soon, and they're behind their other counterparts because when it came to the watering, and they survived, they made it. So these Ragnaroks might be some of my strongest peppers and my most prolific peppers coming into this growing season, because they already fought off adversity, and pepper plants actually don't want to be super watered. Anyway, I say all of that. Moving on from that, we're gonna move a little faster. I know you were like, girl, you just talked a lot. So that's the only January. We're moving on from January. We're now gonna be going into the beginning of February. 2/2, I started Sugar Rush Peach Bells, Habanadas, and Monkey Face. I had one Habanada pop up. She didn't make it for some reason. So I need to start more Habanadas. But the Sugar Rush Peach Bells and the Monkey Face looks, at least 2 of the Monkey Faces look really good. This third one, I'm not sure what's going on with her. I'm finding it very hard keeping this soil moist in comparison to the other soils. I did take off the top, which it was a lot easier to keep it moist back then. So this is something to remember. This is a lot of soil. In here, you probably could grow 1 or let's say 2 tomato plants to a very decent size in this alone. It's a lot of soil. And this is a strawberry plastic container that came in with strawberries in it. Next, this is the grape one. Oh, no, we're not going to do that one, actually. Let's finish the 2-2. This is, I'm going to water this right after I finish this video. The Zabranch and the Tobago seasoning, I started 2-2. I have not won Tobago seasoning yet, but I have 100% germination for my Zabranch. I did not buy any Zabranch this year. I bought that last year. So the fact it still has 100% germination, that's from Matt's Peppers. You did your big one, Matt. This is 100% germination because I planted 2 seeds per pocket, and there's 2. 2 perfectly here, 2 perfectly here, 1 here, and then the other one's already out of the soil. So even if because this is like weirdly wavy leaves, but even if just these 4 make it, that's still a very good quantity. I think it's actually more than I truly need, but it's fine. I love the branch. They were one of my most prolific ones. This next one is also 2-2. This is the early jalapeno. I feel like I put 2 in each of these. If not, I put 2 and 1, but I could be wrong. This is still pretty decent germination because I didn't buy this year. I also bought these seeds the previous year in 2024, not 2025. So this looks pretty good to me. And they all look pretty good to me. They're going to stay there along with the other ones I've been to. And if everything I've talked about so far, but the Ragnarok's are going to stay in the soil, I do want them to develop at least a little bit of their true seeds coming in. The next set of seeds I have here is 2-10, so a week later, okay? We are just starting to get germination from, I have monkey face. I have 2 cells of monkey face, and I see 1 in each starting to arch its back. Can you see that little green arch? And this one's a little deeper in there. And then I have 2 Thanos. Those haven't popped up. I don't anticipate those to pop up for the next week because the Thanos are some of my spiciest peppers. That's why I started those early. This is my second batch of the Thanos. The next 2 is Sugar Rush Peach Bells. We have about, 80% germination because I think I planted 2 per thing. But now we're having issues with these dang seed cover not leaving the... Oop, there we go. I got 1 off. You just take a little bit of your saliva. And I had put a little saliva on them before. Okay, there you go. So now they're both off. That just means I didn't leave the soil moist enough for it to fall off naturally, but that's fine. So 1 Sugar Rush Peach Bell looks very good. The other 2 look okay. Oh, oops. I missed 1-2-2. This is one that definitely is getting up potted today. This is back 2-2. This is and today is the 20th, I believe, of February. The Gosia de Ora peppers and the Marconi red peppers. I'm very excited about how perfect this germination is. I have 100% germination from both of these. I purchased the Gosia and the Marconis not last year, the year before. So I'm very impressed that this is 100% germination. These are 2 peppers I want a decent amount of that I've added since. So I don't believe that the Marconi, that the Gosia de Ora is one that I listed. I wanted 4 or 5 plants from originally, but I've since added that into, I want about 4 or 5 in there because I will plant 1 or 2 in the green stalk if necessary. And that's going to be great for me. So these all are going to get up potted because as you can see, they're starting to get their first set of shoe leaves. Back to 210 because that was for of 2-2. Here I have Pimento de Dog, which is a very spicy pepper. This is the second starting of it. It didn't pop, and if nothing popped up, I expected that. Jalapenos, I have 4 cells. I have a lot of jalapenos here. I will not be starting any jalapenos. This is the same early jalapeno. I have 100% germination in 2 of the cells. No. Oh, there's one right here too. 2 right here. So 100% germination in 3 of the cells and one has popped up so far on the 4th cell, but it's just arching its back out, so the other one might be coming up behind there. I started a lot of spicy peppers. So I had one back here and started some more Ragnaroks and from 210, and looks like one in one cell is popping up and the other cell hasn't popped up yet. But I wasn't sure if these two were gonna survive, so that's a key factor in why I started more. Jay's Pink Black also looks like only one is about to pop up so far, and that's it. Oh wait, in the other cell there's one that's arching its back out. And then the Swiss Chocolate. There's 2 in one cell popped up, so that's 100% in one cell and nothing in the other cell. But these are some of my spiciest peppers from this year that I'm going to be growing, so I don't expect them. This is a good germination, actually. They popped up quite quickly. I need Shishito not to play with me this year. I have one. Oh, okay. In each cell, I have 2 cells of Shishitos. They're just starting to arch their back out 10 days later. And then this one Shishito, because I have 4 cells, one Shishito is fully popped out, and then there's another one definitely arching its back out. So that makes me feel good. That means I should get at least 2 to 4 Shishito starts. As many Shishitos as I can possibly get, I will do that, because these are stuff you can put in your green stock. And then my Ozark Giants are coming in. One cell has 100% germination rate. The other cell has nothing so far. And a couple of these had a cover over them, and they had a heat mat. Everything on here had a heat mat, but some of them had a cover as well. If you're wondering what I'm doing when I just randomly poke things, I'm crushing little annoying gnat things that pop up from the soil. This is a pretty great start to things popping up. We have Jimmy Nardellos and Yellow Monsters. So there's 3 cells of each. And I must have planted 3, obviously, seeds in this one cell, which has 100% germination rate for the Jimmy Nardello. And then 2 in this other Jimmy Nardello cell are popping up. And then this one is almost out for 1. So this is really good. This is 5 Jimmy Nardellos in this one. And I definitely have others started. And then in my Yellow Monster, I have 2 that are out of the soil, and then 1 arching its back out, and then another one here in the cell arching its back out too. Yellow Monster and Jimmy Nardello are 2 of the plants that I said I need at least 4 to 5 plants of them popping up, so I could and growing, so I can grow that out. I believe an Ozark Giant was the other ones as well, and plant them in my garden. I really need a lot of sweet peppers. Now let's talk about this grape, and then that's it for this video. This is my grape tin. The Gazanti tomato. This I started in 2013. So this is the oldest ones. I mean the youngest ones that I've started, right? Because I started this only a week ago. And these are tomatoes. This is the only tomatoes from this area we're talking about today. I didn't start a lot. I just started very little. I'm not really starting tomatoes. Next week is the last week of February. So I'm really aiming for the first week of March to start my tomatoes. These are popping up pretty quick. 2 are fully out of the soil. 1 is battling the seed outer shell, which is kind of aggy. And then another one is arching almost fully out of the soil. I feel like I planted like 4 or 5 in here, so there's another 1 or 2 that should pop up. Okay, so that's it. I just put some moisture. Oh wait, so there's 3, and then it looks like there's 1 that ended up all the way over here. So when I was watering it, it shifted some of them. So now we're gonna have about 4. And this one might be a 5th one. I'm not sure if that's a rock or anything. I don't want to mess with it, but that looks pretty good to me. My starts are starting, and they're doing really good so far. Because I feel like my first issue last year was automatically some things just didn't even come out of the soil, and I think that had to do with my watering issue. I watered too much or waterlogged some of them. And I think also I feel like, excuse me, it's some of these, they need to be ignored. Like if you're staring too hard at it, I feel like you're giving it bad energy. So you kind of like, you need to ignore them a little bit, and then they're gonna pop up. I do check on them, you know, but you know, kind of just like let them go, because when you touch up too much when they're first originally popping up, you're gonna have problems. I also have a fan that I bounce between the shelves and let it blow on there, and then sometimes I just come through and I do this across them once they're fully out, and I feel like that's helping give them some strength as well as with the fan. So thank you so much for watching this whole video. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share with a friend. Let me know, how are your did you start your pepper seeds? If you did, how are they in terms of popping up? Because I was stressed. I feel like my garden, my garden is not big by any stretch of the imagination. I'm growing on less than a 1/4 acre of land, and it's a lot of plants. Like just one 5x3 raised bed, like if you're gonna go by the square foot gardening method, that's 15 big plants. Big plants meaning eggplant, tomato, pepper, I don't really want to add squash into that unless you're doing a trellis, because then you're gonna need more than just 1 square foot. But yeah, like plants that grow, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, those all need 1 square foot each. But you could even grow more than 15 plants in a 15 square foot bed. If you're growing things like carrots, which you can put like 12 to 16 in 1 square feet, beets, garlic, radishes, onions. These are all things that you can plant multiple per square feet. Spinach, kale, I almost said cauliflower. Stuff like that, not cauliflower. Those can have multiple in per square feet, so you can grow even more. Like you can really grow a lot, and I have multiples of those. So that's just things you want to keep in mind, and you do not want to rush to try to grow too many at one time. You might very much so overwhelm yourself. Thank you so much, and hopefully I see you in my next video. Bye bye.